See, look, bro, if I'm Ross Chastain, after I got done punching the shit out of Noah Gragson, I'm gonna take off over.
Jose, you're not in this video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Driving in Circles podcast, episode 19. We got a short, quick episode for you guys. Not much happened this past weekend. Just a little bit of NASCAR racing at North Wilkesboro. We brought it back, the good old short track for them good old short track racing. The All-Star race and the truck race, as well as Indianapolis Bump Day and some crazy events that happened over Indianapolis 500 practice. Where do you guys want to begin?
Let's start off at Indy practice, where thoughts and prayers out for Stephen Wilson, first of all. And second of all, you cannot convince me that it wasn't an inside job done by Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing to get Graham Rahal back in the Indy 500.
Oh, jeez.
Don't geez me.
It's so funny because everybody, when Stephen Wilson got hurt, as you know, he was in that incident with Catherine Legg, an RLL driver. And everybody was like, "Oh man, this is Graham Rahal's shot to getting back in." But everybody thought, man, he has too much integrity. You know, he's pretty much like an owner driver at this point. He only runs Hondas. There's no way he's gonna take that. They're gonna have to pick up somebody.
And the absolute millisecond that ride opened up and they offered it to him, he jumped ship. What does that say about the integrity of Graham Rahal? What does it say?
Well, it says that he has no faith in his team. I'll tell you that. And as a matter of fact, James, I would too. That number 24 dry Reinbold with Kuhn racing car is fucking fast as hell. That was a top 20 car. I'll tell you that. That's a top 20 car they got there.
And all of the Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing cars are starting on the back row of the grid. That says something.
I mean, it's funny because Graham Rahal will be starting back there because of the driver change.
With his teammates.
With his teammates in a different manufacturer car and a different team is crazy.
Wild.
I know a lot of people had like J.R. Hildebrand coming back to take that ride. Like it's like 5 days notice from the Indianapolis 500. I don't think he's gonna come over here and try to drive this car.
James Hinchcliffe would come back.
James was joking around saying James Hinchcliffe would do the pre-race, run down, do the 500, then come back right after.
Just drenched in milk, come up with Lee Diffie and Townsend Bell. Just, hey boys, how we doing? What a race, am I right? Just
Townsend Bell and Lee Diffie are just in shock, just looking at him. But yeah, so Indianapolis Bump Day. All of us got it wrong. Jose was the only one right, with Stingray Rob being the last chance qualifying. Benjamin Peterson, I was absolutely wrong. AJ Foyt really got their shit together and decided to not be the worst team on the grid, and actually got 2 cars inside of the Firestone Fast 12.
One car inside of the. Santino
Ferrucci made it to the Fast 6, so like. Oh, man, I look like an idiot. James, who did you pick?
I picked R.C. Anderson. I'm pretty sure he qualified like 30th.
Yeah, I think, he was like mid to late 20s.
He was close,
but he made it. And then who I thought would have been bumped, Catherine Legg ended up being the only Rahal Letterman Lanigan driver to secure a spot on Saturday.
Ridiculous. But we talk about Saturday, and let's talk about the real festivities, the real fireworks on Sunday. We got Alex Palou pole. Is it Alex Palou?
Yep, yes, Alex Palou pole.
I forgot his name for a second. Alex Palou pole. Second place, Renus VK. And finishing out the front row, Felix Rosenquist. I mean, absolutely a biblical front row. Yeah, I was not ready for it. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, if you gotta put one guy down to have a guaranteed starting spot or starting row, on the Indianapolis 500, I would put all my money on Renus VK qualifying that car. He is absolutely immaculate in qualifying. He is a 3.5 average qualifying position at the Indianapolis 500, which is absolutely insane.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But something else that is absolutely ridiculous: Scott Dixon, legit, Jesus Christ, the second. I wouldn't know. Jesus, the God of Indianapolis is Tony Kanaan or Elio. Jesus Christ of qualifying, Scott Dixon didn't put out the best of showings, and I was quite surprised. But the Chip Ganassi guys did not put on the best of showings.
Yeah, didn't Marcus was one spot short from making the Fast 12. He didn't advance. He was the first one outside.
He made the Fast 12.
He did, Marcus
Marcus made the Fast 12. He got absolutely shafted in. I'm pretty sure he qualified like 10th or 11th. But
yeah, that was really interesting because Chip Ganassi doesn't look like their entire team is fast. It looks like they got maybe two cars that are really fast, and they got two guys that are kind of struggling.
Takuma Sato always on train tracks. He's one of the greats around this place. Scott Dixon also up there, but it looks like you're looking at it. The only person that's like out of sequence, you could say, is Marcus Ericsson, because they also have pole sitter Alex Below. I'm just saying, former champ, last defending champ actually, not on par with the rest of his teammates, you could say.
Yeah, that's kind of strange because that is the same car that they won with last year. But then you take into account, the fact that there was, I don't know, man, maybe that car last year wasn't the best car.
It definitely wasn't. A lot happened to put him in.
Definitely wasn't the fastest car, but it was definitely a top 10 car that they played their strategy right and they got that win. But Alex Palou is looking dangerously fast. All the Aero McLarens. I got my money on Alexander Rossi. I think that he played it a little safe in qualifying, but he's definitely going to be one to watch, especially with a fast car this time. He hasn't really been fast in the 500 for the last couple of years with Andretti, which kind of sucks. But it kind of shows that Andretti really is struggling in the 500. Like, if you look at all their cars, none of them made it. Or I think did Kirkwood make it to the Fast 12?
No, Kirkwood did not. He qualified at 15th.
So none of their
Closest
guys made it to
person.
the Fast 12. None of their guys made it to the Fast 12. Kirkwood was their highest qualifier, pretty much a rookie with the team. It's not looking good for them right now, especially with Marco Andretti, basically chewing out his father, saying, this is a pile of dog shit. It's not looking good for them. And also with Penske too, with Will Power being the only Penske guy to make it into the Fast 12, especially with Joseph Newgarden and Scotty Mack. Oh,
and
man.
qualifying in 12th.
Yeah, that is the last guy. He was the last guy in the Fast 12, which is actually surprising because he got out qualified by Benjamin Peterson.
Hey, don't you keep disrespecting Benjamin Peterson? It's getting ridiculous.
Should I start investing?
The young man, no. The young man from Copenhagen knows what he's doing.
I'm thinking he knows his way around ovals.
More than knows his way, he puts it up there. But let's talk about the real story of the weekend. Starting inside row 2, Santino Ferrucci.
He's never finished outside the top 10, James.
Absolute demon.
I mean, let's see here. They said they could even. This team said that they could have possibly gone for pole, but they wanted to save their stuff for the race, which I find very interesting. Because they haven't let all their tricks out of the bag yet, and they could pull a few things that might surprise a couple people.
Surprise a couple people. Well, that seems like enough for IndyCar. Coming up to the big race on Sunday, we have one more practice. Well, actually, the time this video is coming out, that practice already happened. So nothing in between us and the Indy 500 now, except for the parade.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think it's going to be the best race.
Well, now we'll hand everything over to you, Mr. Johnson, as you can talk about Kyle Larson and he won the double.
Can y'all hear
Something
me,
about
good
him,
fellas?
feeder series, something comparing him to Kyle Busch, something.
Can y'all hear me, good fellas?
Yes.
Yes.
The races were boring as hell. I'm not even gonna front. The races were kind of boring. Unfortunately, I didn't get to the truck race because old Mr. Johnny Morris, I had to work in his establishment. But I did catch the highlights, and it was better than the Cup race. I'll tell you that. And funny enough, Larson was not even supposed to run this race. It was supposed to be Alex Bowman, but Alex Bowman, he got a boo boo, and he hurted himself like a little baby. So
Hey, speaking of
Larson,
Alex Bowman hurting himself, he's actually coming back this weekend for the Coke 600.
you mean Chase Elliott's teammate?
And you know what's funny? You know what's absolutely funny? When Chase Elliott came back, boy, that boy got like 20 posts.
You
Chase
got
And a
Elliott
commercial.
back.
and
He
he got
had a
a whole
commercial.
When Alex Bowman come back, he'd be like, where my post?
That boy
That boy
got
did not
one
get a
breaking
single
news
post.
post, and that's it. They gave Chase a whole commercial.
That is absolutely disrespectful to Alex Bowman, who is clearly
The
not.
best Hendrick driver of the bunch. I mean, pure talent. It's Alex Bowman, William Byron, Larson, Josh Berry,
Josh
And
Berry
then
actually
Chase
above.
Elliott.
Yeah,
Chase.
and then Chase Elliott. You got Josh Berry has outperformed Chase Elliott this year on
Yeah.
pure pace
And now,
too.
now we got to take into consideration. This is still the crazy part. Chase Elliott is still not in the playoffs. We got to remember that. Chase
He
Elliott
has
is
not
still,
been close to any wins either.
You know who was close to a win? Josh Berry.
Josh fucking Berry. That's why
Berry.
he's going. That's why
In
he's going to the four.
no. In Chase Elliott's car, might I add.
Damn.
That is why Josh Berry has left Hendrick, because they said, man, if I'm gonna play substitute driver every time, man, I'm just gonna go get a full-time ride.
And go get a full-time ride.
But anyway, hopping back into this truck race, it was an absolute snooze fest. James, once again, your guy seems to impress. James, tell us about your stock. It's clearly rising.
My stock in Caden Honeycutt is just booming. I mean, absolutely booming. Caden Honeycutt with another top 10. I mean, it's getting ridiculous at this point. Still in Young Motorsports Equipment. He is him.
He
is him.
had a top 10 run. He had a top 10 run.
That's
in
back
the
to back
bag.
top backs. Don't let that fool you. That's back to back top backs. Top backs. That's back to back top 10s.
He had no, but he kind of got shafted there at the end. He ended up with a top 20, but he was a little. He felt he kind of got shafted there at the end. He was running top 10 for the first half of the race.
No. Why are you see you weren't supposed to look at the finishing order. You're just supposed to believe me.
Don't worry. I still believe that your stock is absolutely
My
skyrocketing.
stock is absolutely rising. Top 10 all day. It's top 10 all day in Young Motorsports Equipment, might I add.
Yeah,
Can I
that
add
is
that he's in
crazy.
Young Motorsports Equipment? Can I add that he also almost beat Christopher Bell on pure pace? Can I add that, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for letting me add that.
If you're looking to buy any Caden Honeycutt stock,
They're sold out.
They're all sold out. James has the entire stock.
Whole catalog.
He is the catalog. He is the stock at this point.
I'm not giving up for nothing.
Yep, he's not selling anytime soon.
The only stock he is selling is the Stingray Rob stock, which is
most
absolutely
definitely
in the
selling that
mud.
Stingray Rod. Or that's definitely.
I can't sell the Stingray Rob stock anymore. People are just they're throwing away. People have come and broken into my car and just left the Stingray Rob stock in the
James. It's so bad they're treating them like the baby concert tickets. It's getting that bad.
This is so sad because we thought we had great things.
You win some and you lose some.
James is both ends of that spectrum right now. Jesus Christ. We got to check in with James when it comes to stocks and no name drivers. That's what we need to
Dog,
do.
you know what? That's gonna be a new. That's gonna. Oh my God, we have an. I'm making a new segment. I'm making a new segment. Right.
James's stocks.
It's just gonna be. It's just gonna be stocks, and I'm just gonna tell what unknown drivers to invest in and which to stay
James,
away.
don't worry. I'm gonna Photoshop your face on top of the stonks guy.
All I gotta say is, James, if you want some good stocks, you better start scouring Arca, boy. You
Boy.
finna be just like me. You finna be just like me.
I think I no. The Mayor's probably watching. No, this is a good video. We're still short. If whoever's watching into this like 14-minute mark, should we start posting the James stocks on Instagram, telling you what small drivers to invest in and which to stay away from? Yes or no?
James
Put a-
has a good track record right now. Hey, Caden Honeycutt is paying
I'm
out big
1 for
time.
2. I'm 1 for 2 right now.
He is 50-50 right now, and that's how it's gonna stay.
Hey man, you got a 50-50 chance with James. You might lose all your money, or you might look like
You
a
might be
genius, man.
rich.
So, hey, let us know down in the comments. Let us know if you want to see that segment return on the YouTube, and we'll post it on the Instagram too. Let's see here. Well, the Cup race, the All-Star race, the return to North Wilkesboro, to Wilkes County. Well,
Well,
it
what
wasn't
about it?
all that it cracked up to
Corey?
be.
No. What happened, Corey? What did your guy do? What did your guy do?
All right. So boom, he basically let me look up where he started. I want to know exactly where he started for emphasis. All right, hold on. North Wilkesboro. He started 16th. He started 16th, right? On the outside, got shuffled back to like what 23rd or something, and then drove through the field.
Yeah, because he got that lucky pit. That lucky pit stop.
Drove through the field, right?
Ricky
And he was
Jr. got dumped.
around the outside too. Around nobody cares about Ricky. Shut up. Around the outside,
I
right?
would also like this to be known. I would also like this to be known. The two Cup drivers that finished highest in the truck race also finished highest in the All-Star race. I just want that to be known. Bottom feeding works. I mean, he's going down there and taking rides from deserving young drivers to practice yourself. It works.
It's called. You know what we call that, James?
We call that a Graham Rahal.
Nah, we call that capitalism. What this country is built on. God bless America.
God bless money.
Put an eagle screeching in the background, James. That's what I want. Screech!
Okay, so Corey, what happened to your driver?
2 words. Dick slapping the field. That's more than 2 words. That's I know. I was gonna stop at dick slapping, but I was like, no, we're not.
We gotta finish.
I had to finish the sentence because someone's gonna clip that. And I don't want that to happen. So basically, drove through the field, got up to like 11 seconds. The next gen car on short tracks is pure dog shit. Because tell me how. I looked at it, fellas. I looked at it, and you know how they didn't repave this track, right?
No.
And how it's like more abrasive than old Atlanta, right?
Yeah, because it's a 40-something-year-old surface.
Yeah, you want to know the lap time fall off during that first 90 lap run?
Well, I know. I remember Mike, who was Larry McReynolds, saying something about it was like in 20 laps, it was like 1.8 seconds.
No, and that was it. Throughout the entire 90 lap run, it was only 1 second.
That's ridiculous.
Only that was it. They fell off by 1 second.
See, this is the same problem. This is the same problem that Formula One is having. The exact same.
I think it's just the tires.
No. When you get tires that are good enough to run that well for that long, that takes the strategy out of it. And especially when you had a halfway break, you could just run the whole thing. The tires are good enough to last. Might as well keep them on. Then we get the free pit. Then we do it again. They simplified it too much.
No, but you see, James, is the problem is that they I think, what do you call it? The problem is that they degrade too fast, and then after they degrade, then they just flatline. They don't get any worse. right? Because the thing is that remember Larson made that extra early pit at lap 18 when
It didn't
Stenhouse
do him
spun.
any good. He was gonna do the exact same thing if he did or didn't pit.
Well, no, but they're saying that the whole point is that he got newer tires and was past everybody within that 20 lap advantage, and then he was able to stay in front because the fall off just leveled out.
Doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Bubba Wallace brought it home a good P2. You know, I'm proud of my
That's
guy.
for it's funny enough because his P2 isn't really what everybody's talking about after that race, James.
What he as jokes he flipped off one of his friends, and and the heavy Republican demographic got very mad at him.
He got the most boos I've ever seen since Kyle Busch at Bristol.
Boy, Bubba Wallace, if he just, I've said this so many times, if Bubba Wallace just leans into the heel persona, if he just turns heel and he just,
Become the tribal chief. Do what Roman Reigns did.
what? He could be so good. If Bubba Wallace just becomes a villain, if he just takes that extra step that Kyle Busch couldn't take because Kyle Busch wasn't black, he takes that extra step, it's over.
I mean, he did all. I mean, Kyle Busch wrecked Dale Jr., so that's
No,
pretty
no,
close.
no, no, no,
That's
no,
close enough. That's
no.
all he could do.
That's all he could do. If Kyle Busch was an African American, it's
He
over.
wouldn't have made it to get a championship because he would have
No,
been
he
hung
would
on
have
the spot.
after Richmond when he hooked their Lord and Savior Dale Jr. He would have been killed. But Bubba Wallace has the advantage that no other NASCAR driver that is looked down upon as bad as him since other African Americans in the sport has had. And if Bubba just leans into the dark side, that's all he has to do.
He wrecked the wrong Hendrick driver at Las Vegas. He should have wrecked Chase Elliott.
He should have wrecked Chase Elliott. The day he wrecks Chase Elliott and leans all the way into the dark side, I think that's when we get a championship version of Bubba Wallace.
Problem is,
You can mark.
that's the problem. He's friends with him.
He's best
Yeah,
buddy.
you see, James. Actually, I've noticed whenever Bubba Wallace acts like a dick, he actually runs good.
I mean, you look at it. You look at Nashville when he was absolutely pissed at his team. He ended up like salvaging the top 10.
Exactly. Remember when he won Kansas and he did a little silence to haters?
Mm. Remember this? Fresh when he just raced at Norfolk, bro. No, but when he raced at Darlington, he had a terrible stop. They were back in like 25th, and you know you can't pass at Darlington until lap traffic comes in. He finished fourth. I'm just
See,
saying,
man.
if Bubba leans in, if he leans in to the hate a lot more, and he just becomes the villain that everyone he gives him even more of a reason to hate him, and he feeds off that hate, and he just becomes the best villain since '08 Randy Orton.
Oh, 09.
Oh, no, same diff, same diff.
He wasn't bald yet.
He was bald, he was cutting it. He was
If
cutting.
if Bubba goes bald, we're fucked. If Bubba
We
goes clean
had
shaven,
Bubba Wallace, boy. Lord forgive us. He's gonna
eight
turn on Blaney. That's what's gonna happen. That's where it all starts. He's just gonna hook Blaney, and then what 10 plus 15 plus year friendship is gonna be dissolved because Bubba Wallace is gonna turn heel.
Well, guys, that's pretty much all we have, right? That's all we have. Time to move on to picks.
Wait. Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari for $75 million.
Oh yeah. Hello, Lewis.
But no,
Picture of Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari uniform going up right now.
yep, bam, right there. It's gonna be
Okay.
2016 Lewis Hamilton with the curls because that's the best we got.
Okay. Yeah, that's the Lewis that Ferrari could afford. They couldn't afford let's keep
They
pushing
couldn't afford.
2020 Lewis. All right. Okay, let's get on to picks now.
Do we get the picks? There's a lot of picks that I don't remember.
There are a lot of picks. A lot of picks. Let's start off with the Indianapolis 500, the greatest spectacle in racing.
As the intelligent, young African American I am, I don't know why I had to point out I was black, but the intelligent young African American I am chose all of my favorite drivers for the Indy cars during last year's Indy 500, and so in turn they all end up being really good at Indy. So this year I'm gonna pick Felix Rosenquist.
Okay.
Switzerland.
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 All right. I'm picking his teammate, Alexander Rossi.
Oh, that's bold. You didn't pick Pato.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like Alex he's just got that fire under him from being with the new team. I think it's gonna really motivate him to really perform here.
Mr. Johnson.
I picked Jesse Awuji.
Corey Johnson is under penalty because
I
he did
picked
not
Paddle
answer
Award.
with
Paddle fucking award. Paddle award.
Tried to put
Shit.
Cory under penalty and give him Jesse Awuji every pick, but he protested.
He protested and we let him slide this one time.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so wow, look at that. An Arrow McLaren sweep through the 3 picks.
No, it's not a sweep.
Jose
Jose.
Belly ass.
Jose's not here.
Jose Canard.
Remember he got banished? He's not in this episode.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not in this episode.
Oh, I gotta do the little swooshing effect again.
So F1 Monaco, right? Gonna be an absolute snooze fest. So we said why not pick a position that's not in the points, right?
Why
Let's
not?
pick one that's not in the points because you know what? That's gonna be the fun one. We're gonna have what is it? A Sebastian Vettel trying to overtake. Who was it that one time coming out of the pits? Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was Lewis.
And then they cut to, oh, what is Lance Stroll? Cutting to Lance Stroll.
Back in 17th. So that's why we chose to do 17th, and I chose Alexander Albon.
Okay. I think you have a great pick there, but it's not the best pick. I have Oscar Piastri running that. Going to be beautiful throwback. Unfortunate that they're both going to be eliminated in Q1 just to finish 15th and 17th.
Mr. Johnson.
Give me Kevin Magnussen.
Wow. Well, on to the Coke 600. And I'm going to say it. I picked Bubbers Wallace. He's coming off his what? 3rd top 5 in a row. Absolutely on fire. I think this is a good track for him. I think he gets it done.
Now I have the man that just swept last weekend and could have possibly won last year's 600, has won the 2021 600. I got Kyle Larson.
I have Christopher Bale.
Cory just gives no explanation. We just know he picks. It's just bam. Kazam. If
All
you
right,
would.
Xfinity. Who you got, James?
I absolutely fleeced Jose, who had the first pick, and I got Kyle Rowdy Bush.
Damn.
Crazy that he's running this race.
Damn.
Kyle's been running a lot of Xfinity and truck races recently, even though he said he was going to stop running Xfinity. Anyway, I got Austin Hill. Solid pick, I guess. I think he's due for another win this year.
I fleeced all of you when I picked Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, no, you see, I didn't know he was in this race. Didn't he win this race last year?
Don't even know.
He had like 8. He had like 9 wins. So he
won the 2021 Charlotte race and the ARCA in that same fucking day somehow.
Okay, and then the truck race.
I picked Stuart Friesen because he's due for a win, and I really like Stuart Friesen.
Wait, didn't he win at Texas this year?
He won at Texas last year.
Oh.
I have Corey Heim, master of running good on the 1.5 miles. I think it's time for Corey Heim to win another race.
I'll make that up.
I picked Nick Sanchez.
Which isn't bad because you know what? He has been fast on the mile and a half.
Well, that's an episode done.
Well, guys, that's another episode of the books. Guess what? We're about to hit our next milestone. 20 episodes next episode.
Are you sure hitting 20 episodes? I'm pretty sure.
I hope so. I hope so. Hey, if we lose again in the numbers, then we're just gonna have to cancel it.
Someone decided not to count the little vlog things. This is our 20th episode, but no, the little vlogs don't.
No, James, those episodes don't count. Those are separate
Why?
series, James.
Okay, whatever.
It's a separate series.
I don't mess with you, Kyle. You count things weird.
That's why it's called driving in
I will
circles.
get suspended for 6 months.
Anyway, Demarion, thanks for watching.
Demarion,
I hope you guys, hey, if you guys stuck around and managed to see the Subway Surfers clip somewhere in this video,
I'm telling you, Kyle, it's gonna work. Kyle, our viewership's gonna go through the moon. I'm telling you, Kyle.
Hey,
you gotta
good thing we're talking about it now. If you've seen the Subway Surfers clip, give it a like. Make sure to share.
Do I need to jingle keys? Somebody get car keys. Jingle, 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 jingle them in front of the viewer's face to keep their attention. Jingle, jingle.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching this episode of the Driving in Circles podcast. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow the Instagram. We'll post a lot more stuff there. We'll get James's stocks. Something. We'll figure it out. What else? The TikTok's dead. Thanks for watching. James, hit that outro music.
They don't know what's in Lake Lloyd. We got to go find what's in Lake Lloyd. Lake Lloyd is the treasure hunt. Lake Lloyd is our homing beacon. We have to go find what's in Lake Lloyd.